a suggestion for what I should do? Go ahead. Okay, hold on. Negative E. So negative E would go negative E. All right, so I need to, excuse me, because this is a resultant, I need an initial to touch an initial, so, and you said negative E, so I'm going to put it right here. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should have stopped there. That's negative E, okay? All right, where does negative G go? Because in the other classes, they were confused. Where does it go? Okay, so at the tail of this one, it starts, and then it goes this way over 1, 2, 3. Sorry, did you say G? G? Is it G or negative G? Negative G. Good job. So you could have written it as negative E plus negative G, negative E minus G, negative G minus E, negative G plus negative E. Okay, good. I will tell you for the next one, I did not make a mistake when I did the illustration. So go ahead and try the next one on your own. Okay, what would you like me to do first? There's lots of correct answers. What do you want to do first? You want me to flip Y or keep it flip Y? Okay, so instead of pointing towards the northwest, it's going to point towards southeast. So its initial point is going to touch the initial point of the resultant vector, yes? That's the only place where an initial can touch an initial is when it's one of the vectors that becomes a result. Okay, and it should be over, so over 2, down 4. So it looks like that. Okay, so this is a negative Y. Now which would you like? So we have a negative Y on the paper. Then how do I get from this tail to the other tail? Negative X. Okay, so initial here, terminal there. Whoops. Terminal there, and this was what type of X? How do you know it's a negative X? It's pointing the opposite direction. Excellent. Oh, I slightly, hold on. It should be a 2 diagonal. It would have been there. This one's slightly off. It's a 2 diagonal in length. Yeah? Okay. So a negative X. Good. Or you could have said negative Y minus X, negative X plus a negative Y, negative X minus Y. All right, what are some key things to remember? What are some key things to remember? Okay, what stays the same? Okay, the resultant stays put, but what are 2 things that I have to keep? Okay, what's the technical name for length? What's the term we've been using for length? All right, so we have a magnitude, and what else? And somebody brought this up in the last picture. The direction, magnitude and direction. Okay? And if I change the direction, that is a reflection, and it's noted with a negative. Okay? Magnitude and direction we keep those. Okay? And then, so I draw one vector. What happens? How do I know where to put the next vector? Right. The tail of one must touch the head of the next. Except for what? Except for what? Except for what? The resultant. The resultant is head to head, tail to tail. Are we good? Yes, sir. The very first problem, yep. Give everyone a chance to copy this, and I'll go right back to number 1 again. Okay, what was your question about number 1? Okay, so this is my resultant vector. So I'm going to keep that one. Okay? Now, my starting point, I know a lot of people in first period got into translation and stuff. No. You are simply the magnitude. So this is 4, a magnitude of 4, and it is currently pointing south. So, in order, I want to use this line in my picture. So I went to the initial of the resultant, and I took the initial of E, and I overlapped it. Okay? And now I want to build a triangle. So I want to go north. Well, north is the opposite of south. So that's how I got the negative E. Okay? And the magnitude is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. Okay? Now, G happens to be 3, and that would fit in this space nicely. But you have to remember that when I'm combining two vectors, the tail of one must touch the head of the next. So in order for it to touch the head of the next, G also had to flip direction. It is currently pointing west. I need it to point east. Yep. Good. Negative is if it changes direction. No, it has to be a complete opposite. So, opposite of north is south, east is west, northwest is southeast, and so forth. Okay? Good? All right. Any other questions I can answer for you? All right. So that takes care of that.